America, land of the big people. Trader Joe's was great. Hitler was on meth. And why do we always sacrifice virgin women, never virgin men? Mom. Dad. Juliet. Neve. Hey everybody, and welcome back yet again. This is week 5 without an accident. Woo!
Let's go.
Yeah. Hey babe, how's it going? How you been? How's the week? How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be doing another Pancake Friday.
Pancake Friday.
You know, I actually made pancakes last week.
Oh, what flavor?
Blueberry. But I burnt them.
You
so
burnt pancakes?
So I threw them out, yeah.
Were you just practicing, or was it
No, I'm
for
actually
someone?
not very good at making pancakes.
How are you not good at making pancakes?
I think the pan was too hot.
Pancakes is all about heart.
No.
Well, if you love your child, you can make the pancakes easily.
No, I made her good ones, and then the rest I burnt.
Okay, well, I don't know what to say about that, because you love telling me I burn things.
You do burn things.
You love telling me about it.
Yeah,
though.
because you do consistently, though. I rarely may burn something.
Get out of here. Okay, so sorry, I just found out some shocking things. Neve admitted she burned something where she claims, like, before this date, I've never heard you say anything ill of your cooking.
It's because it's always good.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I don't want to deny that. Your cooking is always good.
Yeah.
But you do burn things.
Well, I did. Yeah, I did burn the pancakes.
Just like everyone else on the planet.
Yeah, but not everything I've ever cooked for you has been burnt.
Just like everything I have cooked for you has not always been burned.
That's debatable, apart from the taco kits, but they don't really count.
What about the burgers?
Valid. Yeah, but, like, you can't burn burgers.
Watch me. By the way, I owe Joach a burger. I owe him the jalapeno popper burger.
Oh, we better get on that then.
I haven't forgot about that. Okay, so it's been a long-ass week since last Pancake Friday. We went to America, USA. And we went to Trader Joe's, we went to Walmart, we went to Target, we went to a barbecue spot, and then we had Dax and Sarah's engagement party where I cooked for 80 people.
Hype.
Barbecued. That was super fun. Very honored. Super fun time. Anyhow, why don't we just get right on into this?
Hell yeah.
So do you like, first off, we were going to America. Mm-hmm. Always a fun little trip. Hour and 20 minutes to get to Trader Joe's.
Yeah, I know. It's so nice.
It is.
Yeah.
It's weird how if there wasn't a border there, that same drive, you'd be like, why would I want to go out there? Because, like, it's, I don't know if you've ever been, people that haven't been to Bellingham, it's really just like, there's nothing exciting there.
No, there's not a, like,
Just the
there's not a
shops.
whole lot, but yeah, they do have good shops.
They just have trees, but not in a nice way.
Not in a bad way.
No, not in a
I
bad
quite
way.
like Bellingham. Bellingham's like kind of like rural, small towny, but still like enough of a big town that it's a city.
Sure, I'll give you that one.
I quite like that.
I know I don't want to
I'm a
chirp
small town
Bellingham. I'm
girl.
just saying. No, I'm not chirping it. I'm just saying, like, if we go there because of the shops, right? Like, we go there to the Target, the Trader Joe's. It's kind of like this fun little stop.
Yeah.
But imagine if that was Canada. Like, what would you go out and see in that area? There's not really anything like that nice or crazy to see.
You know, I actually did a tour of Bellingham, 2020 March.
And
Because do you know who's from Bellingham?
a lot of people.
Death Cab for Cutie.
Oh, right. I didn't know. Yeah, you told me
so
that.
I did like a little tour. I did like a little nostalgia thing where I toured around Bellingham listening to Death Cab for Cutie.
And was it lame? And, well, not lame, just like average and
I mean, Belly, yeah, it's just I feel like all U.S. cities are kind of the same.
Yeah, I mean, I
Except
haven't been
different
to all of them, but
climates.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I feel like most major cities are basically the same, minus like you go to like say like London or Paris, they have like the Eiffel Tower and stuff. But like once you get into the meat and cookies of it, or meat and potatoes of it all,
meat and cookies.
meat and cookies, the classic combo of meat and cookies.
I love some bacon with my cookies.
That is some America right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first observation that it's not a shock. This isn't a shocking observation. I just can never get over it when we're in the States is how big people are in America, and the obvious one being like everyone goes right to their weight, which 100% like that's an obvious thing you see, but the people are so tall, like huge. Like I don't know if you noticed that, but I always like I don't think I'm a tall dude, but I don't think I'm a short dude.
Yeah.
So whenever I walk around, I just kind of like am there in the middle, right? When I'm in the States, I always feel there's just like tons and tons of people that are like 6'4", 6'6", 6'8". Like it's always just I see them.
Probably all of those like the pesticides they're putting in their processed food. They're like, we need to be mega race.
Yeah.
You know, like big and tall and strong.
I mean, it's not wrong. Like, did you
right.
see when the pandemic started, all the people were stealing toilet paper, and one couple, they got banned because they wouldn't let them have all the Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I was like, did they have like
Shopping
30
carts.
cases of
I
Mountain
don't
Dews or
I
something?
want
It
to
was
say
so
they
ridiculous.
had like 3 or 4 carts because they for sure each had 2 carts full of Mountain Dew.
So
and I just
stupid.
remember it's like you're watching all these videos of people being like, I need my toilet paper. If I'm gonna be in a pandemic, I gotta poo. and then all of a sudden there just cuts to this video of these super overweight people being like, we need more Mountain Dew. You can't take. I'll kill you if you take my Mountain Dew. It's like where
So ridiculous.
are priorities at? And then that also leads into we were there. So Trader Joe's, I've been there twice now. I'm gonna say the cheese is good. It's cool to go in, I guess, but I'm more there for the experience of driving there than I am really Trader Joe's, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's overhyped so hard. And like the thing is, they do have really good like snack stuff, but both you and I are trying to like cut down on our snacking. So I'm kind of just like looking at all the snack stuff like, oh, that would be so good. Oh, that would be really good.
Yeah, that was tough. I'm not gonna lie. I've been proud of myself for how much I've cut back on candy and stuff.
Yeah, you have. I didn't think you've had.
No, I've had a bit. There's some chocolate. Those Feastables.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if anyone's had Mr. Beast Feastables, but enjoy them while they last. Because I think Mr. Beast is running a racket in illegal lotteries. I'm not joking.
Sucks to be Mr. Beast.
So enjoy Feastables because they are really good. I thought it was good chocolate.
I thought it was really good chocolate, actually, especially for like American chocolate. It was really good.
Well, it's interesting. It's 5 ingredients instead of 10. And then if you look at the ingredients in Feastables, they all make sense. It's like cocoa powder, sugar, chocolate. Yeah, like that's all it's like. Yum yum chocolate.
Yum chocolate.
But then you look at all the other candy bars, and they have the exact same 5 ingredients, and then they're just like basically like
a ton of artificial
chemicals
flavorings
that are bad for you. That's just what it's called.
Chemicals that
they're
are
not
bad
even
for
high
you.
for it. That's the name of the company. So we go. I was most excited to go into Walmart, but once we got in Walmart, I wasn't
It
excited.
was exactly the same as Walmart here.
No, it was
pretty much.
Well, yeah, basically, but it was more bigger everything and Americanized.
Well, yeah, like bigger sizes of stuff, but it was pretty
everything.
much all the same stuff.
And why are the people? I'm sorry if you shop at Walmart. I'm not calling you trashy, but why is there always the like most hillbilly people at Walmart?
Well, we have those coloring books that are like people of Walmart. And they're just all like super ridiculous. And it's true. It's like you will find something for everyone in a Walmart.
Oh my gosh. Walmart, like, it was just, there was that chick there and she was just a hillbilly. She was like, I can't even remember.
She had like 6 kids trailing around her.
Yeah, and her kids were all like just going nuts, and she was like, what were their names? She was like, we got Alabama over there. You don't want to end up like your father. Like, I don't know, Mike Tyson the third or something. Like,
Mike Tyson the third.
I don't know, but like so they were just like
Super
everything they did, and I felt like no matter where we went,
they were there.
They were just right there, and they were so like. They weren't like, just for the record, they actually like, they weren't mean or anything. Like, the one time I made eye contact with the woman, she just smiled at me. I smiled. So it's not like they were just such hillbillies. Yeah. But that's part of why
that's America.
That's America.
America.
Can I just USA, 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 USA. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I've got that chant going in an arena before. Do you know that?
I don't think that would be a hard thing to do.
It's not. It's not. That's what's the funniest part. It feels really good, but then you realize how easy it is. Like, I think you could get that going almost anywhere in the country. In
USA?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. They're hardcore patriots. So.
Okay, so yeah. You said you had some stuff. Do you want to cut in and do that, or I can keep going if you need a little more time?
Okay. I'll go with my first one.
Okay.
Which is more of idea. Idea for the future of the world.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But we are going to touch on some sensitive subjects. Politics.
Oh, no.
So, here's my... this is how I think we should run a country.
Okay.
So instead of voting for political parties at like a voting booth, we make a game show.
All right, I'm in.
And it's all the like politicians. I'm thinking something like cross between like Big Brother, The Challenge, Traitors, something like that.
Okay.
Kind of style. And it's all the political parties and they're all in teams. And they have to, like, compete in stuff. Like, some of it will be, like, political related. Like, they'll have to do, like, debates and shit. But they'll have to actually, like, compete in challenges, too. Where they get, like slimed and shit. You know what I mean? Because, like, who doesn't want to see a politician...
get all slimed? Yeah. So, okay. I'm just going to let you go on here. Is there more to that before I...
Not really.
My thoughts on it then is I like the idea of we make new parties. Like, I don't want to be the liberals versus the conservatives. I think there has to be new parties. There
are other parties, right?
Okay.
But like they would all be in different groups, and then there would be like all the different like members of the cabinet, and then you like vote them out slowly, and then the last two are like the last two in the race. And then because I really want to know from my prime minister, can you like be like covered in bugs and slime, and can you take that on the chin? Like, I don't want some pussy ass prime minister. That's how we got into this situation in the first place.
So you want someone that but if it's about being a traitor / challenge / Big Brother-esque game, is that the point?
Kinda.
Well, so then do you become the prime minister of the country by winning the game show, or
yes.
do you do so
yes.
so there so
yes,
we've scrapped democracy?
It is democracy.
Well, not really, because you're a contestant on a game show, and if you win, then you like the whole country doesn't vote, or do they?
No, they do.
Oh,
it's like you have to like register to vote, like you register to vote now, and then you like vote on an app or something.
I like the idea, but I think we got to scrap the democracy, and the whole thing's just a game show. So like, you get picked randomly from a hat, like the whole country. And then you're competing on this game show. Yeah. And if you win, no, it doesn't matter how you win.
You get to decide.
You get to be prime minister.
You get to be prime minister.
Yeah. And no one can get mad because
you won the game show.
You got to respect anyone. Like, if you connive your way to the top in Big Brother, all right, I guess that's what's running the country for 4 years.
Yeah.
If you floater because everyone's like, I can beat them in the final, but in the final you lose, then all of a sudden you have this person that's ill-equipped to run the country, but they're kind of just there. I could get behind it as long as we scrap the democracy part.
I think we have to keep the democracy part.
I mean, I don't.
I don't.
Okay, well, that's fair. I guess we'll have to
So
disagree.
yeah, like vote for Neve as mayor if you want that to happen, because I will make it happen.
Okay, so I think I've kind of gone into this before, but I want to revisit it.
Okay.
How would you run a cult? Yeah, well, I would be very. I told you this off, Mike. I'd just be from the start, straightforward. Like entry into the cult is we all have to pee on you in a bathtub or something weird like that.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up, and then everyone's like then from that point on, every single thing that's not weird enough. It has to be like that's just the beginning of this weird ritual.
Like there's an initiation.
There's an
ceremony.
initiation, and it's not fucked like torturing you. It's just like super weird, like something harmless but weird. And then after that, like everything you do, you tried to poison us and make us all drink Kool-Aid, and you're like, the thing started with us all peeing on you in a bathtub. Obviously, this is what's happening.
What you should do is you should be like, what I would do to initiate people into it. I'd be like, you have to lie on the floor underneath my chair, and I'm gonna stick my big toes in your nostrils, and you have to sit there for like 5 hours with my toes in your nostrils.
Yeah, see, that's perfect.
And I'll be massaging the outside of your nostrils with my other toes.
Can you even do that?
Do you want to try?
No. I don't. Not at all.
Well, then you can't be in my cult.
Well, that's fine. And I accept that because that's right away. That's, if anything, that's transparency within a cult, which I think that's all you can ask for.
Transparency within your cult. It's a really important thing, guys.
Oh, what was your cult all about? Well, I had to get my nose massaged by this woman's toes for 5 hours straight. Oh, that sounds dangerous. Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Do you know what I would do? I would do the whole like cult thing and like, you know, make it a party and a good time or whatever. And then when I tell people to like drink the Kool-Aid, what I would do is I would only poison like half the Kool-Aid. And then I'd be like, if you don't die when you drink the Kool-Aid, you're damned. And then I'd only poison half of it. And then all of these people would be like, oh my God, I'm damned. And they would just go nuts. And it'd be really funny for me.
Damn.
I wouldn't know that because I would drink the poison Kool-Aid.
Oh, you do.
I'm just going to like leave them to wreak havoc.
Oh, okay. So you die. I was thinking of the opposite of that. I'd poison half them, and I'd say that like only the chosen survive, and but then I'd only choose the people to survive, people that I thought were cool that could like boost my own status within the cult, and then like after turns out they're cooler than me.
If you're a leader of a cult, like how are they gonna boost your status within the cult?
Well, no, because that's that's the point of a cult. If you're
They're
the
just
cult
gonna be
leader,
your hype man.
no, if you're the cult leader, you're so clearly like you have some weird complex where you're like, I gotta be the coolest in the room, and so like even you're like this one guy's praying to you, and then everyone's like, yes, Charlie's your number one disciple, and then all of a sudden I'm like, yo, is Charlie the coolest guy here? And I'm like, yo, Charlie, want to hang out? He's like, my lord, I have to do our like working, your biddings and deeds. I'm like, no, dude, don't worry about it. Come hang with me. But, like, so yeah, I think I'd do something like that, boost my own status within the cult.
Yeah, no, I just like really fuck with people.
Like, I think cults honestly the future.
I've always said, I've been saying this for like a hot minute now, I would love to join a commune. Which I know it's not quite cult, but like it's a step down from cult.
What defines cult? Is that how much drugs and sex you do, or is it what you believe?
I think it's what you believe.
Okay, because I was gonna say, if it's about the drugs and sex, then there's a lot of people that are in cults.
Doing drugs and sex?
Well, just like I feel like a lot of people are just.
Oh, a lot of people do drugs and sex.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I guess it's the beliefs that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay. This is just a little quick hit for all the people there. I'm sick and tired of the quote, "Hurt people hurt people."
Oh, that's so fucking lame.
I know, I hate that quote. And every time I hear it, I'm always like, I feel like this is some asshole way of someone being an asshole and then be like, no, it's okay, I heard.
It's literally just a reason to not accept accountability for your actions. Like, boo, you're an adult.
Yeah.
Like, just because you've had shitty things done to you doesn't mean you need to do shitty things to people. Like,
I heard that person because I've been hurt. Like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like when you call a bully and they're like so clearly a bully. You're like, you're a bully. And they're like, no, I've been bullied my whole life. And you're like, what are you talking about? I literally watch you bully everyone all the time.
I'd be, you are bullied now, bitch, by me. And then I open hand slap them.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like you had like a small report.
Okay, a small report. No, we're
one.
About to dive into something here, though.
Oh,
like,
sweet, fun.
This is like a topic. You and I have spoken in depth about this before, but for me, it's become more of a thing recently, like more so of a thing again recently, because I feel like while I was pregnant, especially, it wasn't as much of a thing, but now it is.
Okay.
Dreams.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I only want to have this conversation once on the pod because, and I'll tell you for why. The more you talk about your dreams,
yes,
like the more you kind of acknowledge your fucked up dreams, the more fucked up dreams you'll have.
Actually?
Yeah.
What?
Like, that's why I don't dream journal, because I started like journaling, writing down my dreams, and then they would be more intense. Okay. And this is a bit far out, and I know like a ton of people might think I'm like cuckoo crazy, and you know, maybe I am, but I read a few things about dreams being like a portal to like the multiverse or like alternate universes or stuff.
I like it.
Because I've done a ton of research into dreams, because you know how like bizarre and weird and like relative my dreams are. So I've done a ton of research on them, and for me, like, a lot of people say like, oh, dreams are just your subconscious mind like trying to tell you something about your life. I don't believe that, because like people always refer to like the teeth falling out dreams, or like the falling dreams, or like the being chased dreams. I don't have those dreams. I don't have like those kind of like generic kind of
do you know what the teeth falling out dream means?
I think it's something to do with like an
tooth
anxiety,
decay?
No, or like tooth decay. Your brain's subconsciously telling you have tooth decay.
Your teeth are decaying.
But no, so, and the reason, and I just came across this saying that dreams are like kind of a window into a parallel universe, or like multiple parallel universes, like obviously not multiple parallels because that doesn't make sense, but like multiple like versions of yourself.
Multiple parallel universes make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my evidence that I have to back that theory is one, and Derek will like testify to all this, that I'm not cuckoo crazy. Like, when I first wake up, not every single time, but like a lot of times in the mornings, I can get really confused. Like, I don't really like...
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say confused, but you definitely wake up and might be like mad or upset about something, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
And it takes you a second to like actually like be like, oh, that was a dream. But
or it, like, yeah, it takes me like a minute to kind of like come to terms with my surroundings.
Yeah.
Okay, and then these are I got bullet points here, guys. This is something that I have.
You stepped up your game.
And I've dealt with this forever, like forever and ever. So, examples of reasons that I feel like I could be accessing another reality in my dreams, and I know that sounds so crazy when I say it out loud.
I don't think
but
so.
One, so I have places that I dream of regularly, and these places, I can like map them out in my head. If I could, like, if I was a good drawer or like graphic designer or whatever, I could give you like an exact map of these places.
Which are they?
I've got my examples here. So there's a state fair.
Okay.
Like kind of like a ranch, old town.
Alabama, Missouri.
Like yeah, that kind of vibe, like state fair. There's a theme park, which is different to the state fair. Okay. Theme park's more like kind of like Disney vibes, big roller coasters,
Scary
water slides,
clowns.
stuff like that. At the theme park, there's a ghost train. And I'm always on this ghost train. Or I've been on it like multiple times. There is an all-inclusive resort, which I think is like either Mexico or the Caribbean. I'm not too sure, but there is an all-inclusive resort that I always go to. There's a college dorm. There's a old hotel, like old hotel, like old.
Wait.
And it has like beams and like one of those elevators where like you close the metal grates and stuff. There's like an old farm village, and I drive to this old farm village, and I know that this old farm village is 20 minutes away from when I start driving. Okay. And I know like different roads to get there. Weird. There's an apartment complex, and in the apartment complex I always go in to the second building, and the ground floor is the first door. Okay. That's where I always go in the apartment complex. There's a train station, like a really grand, like Grand Central Station kind of vibe train station. And I always like get on the train, but when you actually get on when you're on the platform, it's almost like more like a monorail.
Okay, is there more of them, or can I ask
those?
some questions?
Those are like the all the places I can think of that I go.
First question as I'm hearing these.
Yes.
Is there other people at these sometimes or all the time, or is it always empty?
No. There's always other people. It's like day-to-day life.
Can you interact, or are you just kind of like I don't know, because whenever I dream, I don't even remember if I do dream, so I can't really.
Yeah, I mean, like I can definitely like interact with other people. Sometimes I'm with people. Sometimes they're people I know. Sometimes they're people that like I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Can you? I'm kind of some of these questions I know the answer to, but I'm just asking for the sake of questioning you. Whenever I picture dreams, like, is it scary, or is it like is it chill?
No,
like, oh, okay.
No, it's.
Are any
like,
of them scary? Because you seem to wake up kind of panicked always.
9 times out of 10, they're not scary at all. But maybe the reason that I wake up panicked is because I'm waking up in that state of confusion where I don't know where, it's not that I don't know where I am, it's just that, like, I feel like when I'm asleep, I'm actually living another, like, I'm living that whole day, and I've told you that before, because, I wake up, I'm so tired all the time, because I feel like I've been living while I'm asleep.
I mean, honestly, I don't get it, but I believe you, because I don't like, the more you look into time and think about time, and then just like you listen to like what you're saying about these multiple dimensions and all these parallel universes and stuff, that's like quantum physics and stuff. Like, that's a belief thing. That's not just some hokey thing you saw on TV or Marvel or something.
There's more to it. Do you want to hear more?
Of course.
Okay, so second bullet point is life is almost exactly the same, but slightly different in ways. Like, I'll know certain people, or I might have like a similar job, but I work with different people. Recently, since Juliet's been born, it's like I have a baby, but it's not Juliet. It's like a different baby. It's like a boy, or like the baby's like slightly older, or like I've just had the baby. Like, it's really bizarre. Third bullet point, I'm completely in control of my autonomy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in control of myself, but situations can be like random or different, and I just have to kind of adapt to the situation. Or sometimes I'm aware that I'm like not in my reality. I don't know if I like know I'm dreaming, but I definitely know that like my actions don't have consequences and I can do whatever the fuck I want.
We should test this. And I'm trying to think of how we test it.
I don't know, like I don't know if you can without like actually going to like a sleep clinic or getting like an MRI or something. Like I don't know how.
No. I think that wouldn't be the way you'd want. MRI, like you do brain scans. You're just gonna see what parts of your brain light up, which will tell you stuff. But I'm thinking more the sense of we should test like Inception at the end where he like flips the spins the thing and you never know. We gotta get something like that, but it has to be something that you can like. Let's assume that you are going to a parallel universe and living that life. Something that you can pick out, that you can bring back to when you wake up and be like, I saw this and I was there. And it was different, but I was there. Like what I'm thinking is looking at. So we have a whole bunch of those. What are those skulls called?
Oh, sugar skulls.
The sugar skulls, the Mexican ones. We bought like a whack load, and they're all over our house. Nice, like decorated painting. Like something like, say for example, you go to one of these parallel universes, and you see like those skeletons, but instead of the skeletons, they're sponges, or you know what I mean, like something like that. And but you have to be able to like, I don't know, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can like make that happen. Do you know what I mean? Because like I'm in control of myself, and like I am now. Like I'm in my head. Like from now where I am looking at those, I can't make them change.
No,
like
I'm not saying they. No, I'm not saying you change them. I'm saying you like we have to. That's not the example. But it has to be something like that where like it can cross over from parallel universes, and we go. This is proof that like that was something, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, like maybe when you're there, you say like a catchphrase or something and then see if it like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, I don't know how I would test it. Because honestly, and I'm just saying the last bullet point, it was time moves differently. But obviously we know that about dreaming anyway. Like I've been in places in my dream for like weeks.
Oh, okay.
And like lived weeks, and then I've woken up in my bed, and that's why I'm so disoriented, because I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm planning to put together a thing of the Hindu end days, that like how they're like end of times prophecy, and it has the way Hindus think of life is very interesting. Or time, pardon. Time is very different in the Hindu. And I can't explain it fully now, but it's like there's like trillions of like years and Brahmas and stuff that go into like things, and I don't know. And it just I think that I believe what you're saying. That's all I can really say, and it's above my pay grade to even have a concept of how, but I feel like we have to think of a way to test.
So,
and I
would love to do that. I just don't understand. Like, I don't see a way how to do it, because how I feel, and again, this is very far out, and a ton of people aren't gonna like believe or like think this is real or whatever. But for me, it's like my like timelines are like layers, and there's like a needle going through. And that's me when I'm sleeping. I just have that needle into all of these different layers. That's how I think of it. Because like
that's a cool way.
I've had this since I was a child. Since I can remember, my dreams have always been like whacked out. Like I remember when my grandfather died, and I saw him in my dream. Like he came and he like sat on the edge of my bed, and he was like telling me I was gonna be okay and everything. And you know, maybe that's just like my way of dealing with grief, but also like that's a pretty bizarre thing to be seeing when I was like, I don't know what, like,
so
like I don't know how old I was, like 15, 16, but
do you think you're one person and you're hitting all these things up, or like what do these other avatars do when you're not in those, or does someone come into your body sometimes then? Because the only no, because like
or like I don't think
no,
so.
because like the only, and just thinking of what you said with that pin, right? Like I like that thought. That's a cool thought of what it is, but I just like I just wonder if you're doing that where you are like waking up and you're like, holy shit, I'm in this other parallel universe, right? Then when you leave and come back here now, who's in those or those husks or those?
Well, maybe if you think of the pin, as more of like a thread. Do you know what I mean?
Wait, I'm just going to explain one more time for the people.
Okay.
So what Neve means by how she's explained her parallel universes, they're all stacked. And then when she sleeps, she becomes this pin, which means you can go into all of them, correct?
Yeah.
And so what do you mean?
Get like a
but
kind
so
of
then
glimpse
what's
of
the difference between a pin and a thread?
So like when you thread a needle, you have the pin and then you have the thread on the end.
Yeah.
So imagine as if the pin is going up through all of these layers and the thread's pulling all of the fabric, so it's kind of like warped. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, and then you loop it back round. So it's just like a loop.
Yeah, I get what you're saying with that. I don't really know. Like,
I mean, I couldn't tell you what happens when I'm not.
No, I know you
Yeah.
can't. I know you can't. I'm just more like thinking what happens there, because it's weird just that thought, because if parallel dimensions exist and then what you're saying, again, we're going all on the play of what you're saying is true, then would that mean that there's one consciousness that has to travel between all these things, and then do you get stuck there? Because it sounds like you get stuck there sometimes, but then you just wake up and you're here and it's been like you were asleep for an hour.
Yeah, and like I couldn't tell you, or like I don't know how any of that works. All I can tell you is like the glimpses that I get. Sometimes they're like I'm in there at evening, I'm there like a few days, I'm there a few weeks. Like I don't know how any of that works.
When you're in it for like say a week,
yeah,
do you get lost and then forget you're there until you wake up, or do you like know the whole time you're like, yeah, I've been here a long time?
No, I'm just living life.
Okay, this is what you have to do then. This is the next time we talk dreams on the pod.
Yeah.
You have to try and when you're doing something, like, you're in this place, try and be more cognizant of being there, like know that you're there or something. I don't know if that makes sense, and just see if you can like kind of like snap into like, this is what, like, that's what it is. While you're in your dream, look around and start thinking of our podcast here, and see if it's possible for you to be in this other reality, this other dimension, but you're still cognizantly thinking this will be cool to talk about on the podcast. Because I think if you can do that, if you truly can do that, that's the closest thing I can think to as to proving it, is if, let's say, every single time you're in these dreams, you start thinking of like, you're like, oh, once I'm out of here, and then all of a sudden the dream ends because it like snaps that thing, like you can't be aware of you being in it or something, then it would prove it is just nothing, maybe. But if you can do that, then maybe that does prove that.
Yeah, I'll try it. If I like end up having one of these dreams where like I'm aware of it, then I'll for sure try it. Like but like it's kind of like touch and go. Like sometimes I'm like aware it's happening, and sometimes I'm not.
I get that. That's why I'm saying it's kind of like it's a thing. It's like it's I don't even know if it even makes sense. It's just in my head. It's a thought.
It doesn't make. I mean, like none of it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
It's just like it's something I'm really curious about, and I wish there were a way to like you can go to dream interpreters, but again, they're more kind of like on the very basic like frame of kind of, oh, if you're like dreaming about running away from something, maybe you have something you need to confront, and like that kind of stuff, and it's like it's just not relevant to kind of like like me and how I'm
Yeah.
drinking.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I find all that stuff so interesting, and it's the thing that trips me out about it the most is like, again, quantum physics.
Yeah.
Like they can teleport atoms. They don't understand the quantum realm. Basically, is they're like, we don't really know what's going on. So like everything's just so open for interpretation on that.
Yeah.
But that's very cool. That was very
It's
very
cool, but it's also kind of exhausting. Like,
Yeah,
I kind of
yeah.
wish it wasn't like that.
Well, for sake of the podcast today,
Yeah.
it was good. But yeah, I'm sorry that is your life. Moving on.
Anyway.
Anyways, so I thought this was funny. I heard it somewhere. Why do they always sacrifice virgin women? Like, certainly if you're trying to sacrifice to your god virgins, you'd go with the men. Because there's...
Women can't lie about it.
What do you mean?
Well, like, there's physical evidence of whether.
No, but all I'm
not.
saying is, like, if you're
Like, a guy could be like, yeah, I'm a virgin.
No, because like what it was, like what brought this up was I was listening to this thing and it was talking about collapsing civilization or fall of civilizations, and they were talking about this one in the Bronze Age, and basically they just like they basically just overcooked themselves. They farmed too much to. They hunted too much. They just did all the bad things that we always are doing, just like now.
Yeah.
And so when everything started to run dry, they started sacrificing virgins, and it was always the women.
Yeah.
And it's like,
It's forgot to get laid, babe.
but I just,
If you were God, you'd want that tight puss.
I'm just saying, if you're men and you're looking at it and you look out at your people and you see the virgins who are the women, and then you see, it's like, let's say there's like the virgins and they're all these young girls, obviously. And then there's all these men, and it's like a ton of men.
And you're like, fuck reproduction.
Yeah, and I'm like sitting there, I'm like, why would you
Get rid of those
sacrifice these
childbearing women.
Yeah, get rid of them. Like, get rid of like the 90 virgins that are all just good for nothing. I don't know. I just thought it was. I mean, I get it. Just kind of how the dude style was like, you got to sacrifice the virgin women, but I would have gone with the virgin men.
What I think it was just like a group of guys in the Bronze Age that are like, sick of these bitches. Like, let's just make up a plan to just like.
They want all this silver, and all we got is bronze. And I'm like, bronze is great, and they're like, fuck you, I'm going to the silver guy. Yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense when you say it like that. Okay, how about this? This is, so me and Neve watched this show on Netflix. It's called the dog one. I don't even know the name of it.
Oh, it's like Inside the Mind of Dogs or
Yeah,
something.
it's new on Netflix. It's about dogs, and it's extremely good.
It's really good.
If you love dogs, 100% watch it. It'll make you so happy.
I actually cried, I think.
You did cry.
Yeah.
It's cool because like one thing that I thought was interesting was like everyone knows the generic myths of dogs. Like they see in black and white, but that's not true.
No, they see more like a sepia.
Yeah, they see more colors than that. I thought it was like black, white, a little red, and something else, blue or something.
It's like they see it in like, like sepia tones.
No. I know what that means.
It's like a sepia filter is like they're all kind of like more yellows and browns, and they kind of see like I think it's blue.
I can't remember. Anyhow, it's cool because like you basically learn all those things like, oh, dogs see in black and white, but the actual facts that we know as of today, which are a lot different than what you would think.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I wrote down from it that I thought was so cool, dogs can shift from rest to run 3 times more efficient with their energy consumption than a Tour de France rider.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
So what that basically means is like a dog, when they want to start running, they just shift into a different gear. Like their body, the way they not metabolize, like, but the way
it is their metabolism that does that though.
Yeah, and so
that's what the documentary said.
And so it's like it's everything, like what it was saying was at whatever the Tour de France riders, so their like body maximizes each nutrient it uses, right? a dog is 3 times more efficient with the same amount of energy as the elite Tour de France riders.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Which is absurd. And it makes so much sense though. And it's yet again, it's always just so cool how like nature works. Like the fact that they can shift and just do that on will is so crazy. And it makes sense too, because Nuo just literally out of nowhere will just like be sitting there and then just boom, takes off.
Yeah, she's 0 to 100 and then back to 0 real quick.
Well, she's like 0 to 25.
No, I've seen her be at 100, but she's like 100 for like 3 throws of the ball, and then she just wants to lie down.
Sorry, Neve, you're not the fastest dog. We love you, but you're not the speed demon you like to think you were. She never was.
I don't know. She used to be quite a speed demon.
I don't know. When she was a young puppy, Django outran her, and I don't know if Django is the fastest dog in the world.
Django outran her?
Oh yeah, by a lot. All the time when they hung out.
I don't know about that.
Okay, you don't have to believe me. Okay, this is a crazy one. Hitler was on meth.
Yeah, and it's...
So...
Okay, I'm gonna let you explain.
So, for those of you that don't know, this is like a... This is a big... Can you grab me a water?
Yeah.
This is a thing that it's gonna start coming out more and more because there's this book I got called Blitz, and it's... A German guy wrote a book about Hitler, and what he did was, it turns out a lot of the German history was after World War II, a group of people went in and they read from like the archives, things they felt like were important about World War II and Hitler and the Nazis and all that. And then from that point forward, vast majority of the information that is like disseminated from then is all based off this. Let's say, I don't know the exact number, but let's say it's like 20 textbooks of German Nazi history. And so this dude, he had heard some like things about how the Nazis had been experimenting with LSD and like all the scary, terrible things that we all know about that they've done. But what he did is he went into the German archive, National Archive, and he asked this dude, and he was like, hey, I want to come in and look for this stuff. And the guy at first was like, no, like, we don't have that. That's just a myth. And he wouldn't let him look in the archive. And then he just basically went and kept buttering the guy up and being like, hey, like, this is who I am. I just want to read them. So the guy finally lets him in. And sure enough, the Nazis were like the Romans when it comes to recording their history. And just like we're talking like everything was recorded. So not only is it just in the archive for everyone to know about or to see, but it talks about this drug called Pervitin. And Pervitin is literally, by today's standard, meth. Now, at the time, Pervitin was over the counter. You could get it as a child. Like if you're a kid, you could go, I don't know, what's a German name? Thomas Müller. Thomas Müller, go get your mommy and papi some Pervitin, yeah.
So bad at accents.
Is that a German accent?
No.
And so they could, or it's Manuel Neuer. These are all just soccer players' names.
It's like Manuel. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not a German name.
So it was, what it was used for was like the whole, is your stay-at-home wife down and and not able to work and be efficient? Give her some Pervitin and she'll get all her wifely duties done. So in essence, they were saying, give your wife meth when she's postpartum depression and she'll get everything done.
God, we really lived in the wrong age.
You want some meth right now?
Well, I'm just like, it would probably help. Like, it would probably be beneficial.
I think it would help for like 36 or like 2 weeks, and then you would be severely
like fucked up for
life.
Yeah, probably. No teeth.
So anyhow, this guy goes and he looks in this archive and he finds all this information about, they tested LSD and they did all these things, and then he finds Dr. Moller, Moller, Dr. Moller, Hitler's doctor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hitler's doctor, Dr. Molar. Now, this guy was nuts. His records are spot, like he knows the milligrams of what he gave to Hitler and everything. It's all recorded. He was getting injected with like pig testosterone at points.
So wild.
Hitler. The thing that I think is crazy is it's nuts that they would do all these tests, but it's crazier that they did them to Hitler.
Yeah.
Now, the thing that's crazier about it is he didn't just start injecting Hitler with pig hormones right away. What he did was he was actually the guy that figured out vitamins and probiotics before they were a thing.
Yeah.
Okay? So when Hitler first met him, this guy was like, hey, I've got, no, go. I've got this controversial thing, like no one believes in it. And they were literally just vitamins and probiotics for Hitler's stomach. So what it ended up doing was it made Hitler really healthy because they like he basically gave him high dose vitamin C when no one believed in vitamin C or knew what, not even believed, knew what it was.
Yeah.
So it's kind of this protogenesis of like, he started out with these things that were miracle cures. And then he was also crazy.
Yeah.
And so he was like, by the end, Hitler was on the craziest concoctions.
Yeah.
And anyhow, I thought that was just super interesting. And it explains a lot of things like the Blitzkrieg, how all the soldiers were able to storm France within 3 days.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's not, so what for those that you don't know, I'm sure you've all heard the Blitzkrieg, but what would happen is the Germans would, in normal warfare back in the day, you'd have to sleep at night. So as the sun would go down, as before the final sundown, you'd have your intel plane fly over the enemy lines and you see where they are and you can predict by that, like how far they'll advance, where they'll be, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So the French would fly over top of the Germans and they would see them and they'd go, okay, well, they aren't stopping, but they probably are soon. The sun's going down. They'll pick up in the morning. And then the next morning they wake up and they haven't stopped. And so they were like, these are super soldiers. They're crazy. But really it was, they were doing meth. So it makes sense why because the thing with meth and war too is you have to understand is like everything you're doing, like if you're doing a drug recreationally at a party versus if you're at war, it changes like how the substance interacts with you, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So these people were nutcases. So these guys are sprinting and driving their tanks. Like there's reports of like tanks and cars would be flipping and no one would care because they're all just going as fast as they can through the pitch black, through the battlefield. So that's why the Blitzkrieg worked so well, because these so-called psycho super soldiers were methed out.
Yeah.
And it also makes a lot of sense as the war goes on, why you kind of hear about the fatigues and how things change because they were all methed out.
Yeah.
4 years of meth will change a person.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And then if you look at the, 1936 Olympics, you will see a picture of Hitler and he's super methed out. Now, a lot of people say he has a lot of like, at the time, the thing was everyone was saying like, it's not drugs. He has autoimmune diseases and he's like shaking and stuff. But the guy can confirm through all these records, he was doing a lot of, at this point, it wasn't even meth anymore. It's just like everything, like fucked up stuff. So that's a little history of Hitler. Hitler, what a guy. Well, not really. I shouldn't even say that. It's not funny.
What a worst guy in the world.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you're really interested in chatting about?
No, I did my points.
That was really good, by the way. I really liked that.
The dream one?
Yeah, that was awesome. Okay, well then, let's move on. We're going to do our buy and sell of the week. I did not have any buy or sells prep, so we're just going to go off of last week's and do our weeklies.
Sure.
So last week's buys for me was the Persian Empire and you was Roman Reigns' return. And my sell was math as a universal absolute. And yours is warnings before Disney movies.
Yeah, facts. Absolute facts.
Do you want to go with your buy or your sell?
You go first.
Okay, so I didn't even talk about this, so you'll have some time to think. I'm gonna go with my buy of the week, which was barbecuing for 80 people at Dax and Sarah's.
You did talk about that.
No, I said it in the intro. I didn't actually talk about the barbecuing at all.
Yeah, you said we said we went to an engagement party. You barbecued for 80 people.
Yeah, but I didn't actually talk about it.
Okay.
Anyhow, that was my sell. That was a really fun time.
That was your buy?
That was my buy. So yeah. It was a really fun time. It was awesome to just be there as a part of it, but also to get to barbecue for that many people is kind of a thing I don't think I'll ever do again, and I'm happy I did it.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good buy.
Yeah. Do you have one yet, or should I do myself?
Do yourself.
Wow, you're putting me on the spot here. It's kind of
Sorry.
a few seconds here. Okay, you know what I'm gonna sell on?
What?
I'm gonna sell on this goddamn phone. This won't make sense to the listeners, but my phone keeps fucking connecting to the middle of the podcast at random times, and it appears, as far as the internet's said, you can do one of two things to fix it, and if not, it's fucked. And I'm just so over this stupid GarageBand phone issue. Sell of the week for Derek.
Yeah, that's very fair. Okay, my buy of the week.
Sounds like you don't have one.
I don't know. I can't think what I've done in the past week. Do you know, my brain's so scrambled. I'm like scrambled eggs. Oh, I'll tell you what my buy is. Past 2 days, I have quote unquote slept in.
Oh yeah.
Because the baby slept in her room the entire night until like 7:30. I got up today.
Nice. Yeah, that's been crazy. I've gone to, usually just for the people, I wake up for work, and it's usually I wake up a little before because the baby's in between us slapping us.
Yes.
And then I get up, shower, and then I take her and I diaper change her and hang with her for a few minutes before giving her mom and going. But I've gone up, done everything, and she's just slept.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
great.
and she's just been in her own room all night sleeping, so that's friggin' awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even take a nap today, and that's like a big thing. I always take a nap. And then my sell of the week. What have we done this week?
There's so much we've done. We were in Trader Joe's, and we went to a engagement party, and we went to my mom. Like, there's so much stuff.
Yeah, I know, but what do I want to sell is the question.
Okay, well, you're thinking, one thing that I always find so funny is I find it so interesting how people sell themselves on what they do and what they don't do. Some people say they do nothing, and other people's, it makes it sound like they have the most like crazy life, but I think everyone's living the same life. It's just some people are like, yo, it was nuts. I went to Walmart and there was a sale on. It was bananas. I didn't get anything, but it's just nuts to be there.
You know,
and then another person will just be like, oh yeah, no, I don't know. I just got a giant new big screen TV. It's not a big deal. And you're like, oh.
That's literally you and me.
Yeah.
like I was actually thinking about, I know this is a little bit of a sidetrack. Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day. I met up with Benita, one of my longtime Canadian friends, and I realized like I haven't seen Benita in like months and months since Juliet was like 3 months old, right? So that's about 7 months. And she's just like, so what's going on with you? And I was like, yeah, nothing. You know what I mean? Like, unless it's something like huge, I just like all the days kind of merge for me, and I don't really like pinpoint like things. No. Okay.
I think people just always do that, and then you're like, oh, okay. But they have a whole bunch to say, they just don't say it.
I don't feel like I have much to say though. I'm a listener. I enjoy listening to
See, but I just disagree. Like I literally like this is a huge part of my job. I see this is people so often would be like, Derek, you're always up to so much. You do the craziest things. And I'd be like, all I did this weekend was went and played soccer and had some beers after soccer with my friends. And then I was just at home. But I tell them that. And then it turns out they basically did the same thing. Not literally soccer, beers, but something. But the difference is people just always go, I didn't, not much.
Yeah. That's me.
Okay,
okay, wait. I'm gonna do a sell. Oh, I know what my sell is. Wait, I don't know if I've already said. No, I haven't said this. The House of the Dragon ending.
Mm-hmm.
Boo.
I still haven't seen it because I fell asleep.
Oh yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
It was just like, I was so disappointed. You know what happened? They had to cut it 2 episodes short because they'd went over budget. Which is so lame. Also, like, well done for not learning anything from Game of Thrones.
I was gonna say, that is the most bizarre thing that this
like, how could you do that twice? Same mistake twice.
I don't understand. Okay, I don't really like to beat on the old shitty ending of Game of Thrones thing because it's happened.
Yeah.
But I can't fathom how the #1 TV show of all time, like, I'd argue that was the biggest show of all time in terms of budget and how
House
hyped,
of Dragon?
no, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, yes.
I don't get how it's that big and you don't have enough money for it, because I'm like, surely with all the money in the world, that one could.
Well, that's what I don't get is they made like such good shows, and then like they had enough content for, I think Game of Thrones did for like 4 or 5 more seasons, and then they had to like combine that into like 2 seasons. And it's like, well, obviously it's just gonna be bullshit. And then House of Dragon, like, the last season was 10 episodes and this one was only 8 because they ran out of money. And I'm like, what did you fucking spend the money on? Because there's no, like, big battle scene. Like, they end it right before they're going into this war. And it's like, well,
I have a theory on that. I don't know if there's any fact to this, but Adam Bacon, who for those that you don't know, Adam, he does the design for Dune movies, so he's like in this
yes,
all of it. He said that dragons cost so much money to animate, so maybe the fact that there's all the dragons, just that was the whole budget. Stop it.
Do you know what I think it is like, what I don't understand? Why does it take so much more to like animate a dragon?
It has to do it. I honestly can't get into it. It's too much. Adam would have to come on the show and explain it. It's like there's just so much technical layering and muscles and blah blah blah. Like,
but it's a drawing. At the end of the day. Anyway, I'm gonna.
Yeah, we gotta get going.
I got a crying baby.
Yeah, thanks. You can hear the baby in the background. Yeah, that's our baby. She just yells. She doesn't cry. She just goes. Meh, meh. Anyhow, it was good to be back again, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed making it. Join our Patreon. It's only $75 a month to subscribe, and you have to subscribe for an 8-year subscription. And if you flake out early, we have a ton of hidden fees that will be dinged on. So please check out the Patreon.
Okay, bye.